studio audience from the world famous Matterhorn International Convention Center and future headquarters of Rotary International here in Elkhart, Indiana, the city with a heart, known for serving others and the best service club on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bill Burton, the president of Rotary Club for another 58 minutes, but who's counting? It's great to see you all. Thank you for being with us. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Rotary! All right. Now, we're going to have our invocation, pledge, and four-way test. And remember, Sunday is Independence Day. And when we do the four-way test, we got a lot of folks here. Let's belt it out this time. I want to have them hear us in Evanston. So, Linda Rucknow, are you ready for an invocation, pledge, and four-way test?
To do a little different this day because we're not going to be Independent Day, so we're going to do it today, and so we're going to sing.
We're going to sing God Bless America.
And you guys are going to sing with us. Okay.
God
bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the light that fly from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the ocean. Wonderful. God bless America. It's sweet. God bless America. Sweet. The pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic. Is it a true? Is it their all concern? Will the open will and better friendships will be beneficial for all?
And Andrew, you have some visiting Rotarians or guests?
Good afternoon, everyone. We have a couple guests with us today. Our first guest is Van Kessler, guest of Bill Templin. Ron Ringenberg has a guest. Looks like David Bushart. Did I butcher that one? There you go. Welcome. Last but not least, Bill Burton has a guest, Debbie Burton.
Oh, and now, Deborah, I just want you to know something I don't do. I never introduced Debbie as my first wife, just to keep her on her toes. Debbie, would you please stand up and give a good, she's been my bride for 33.75 years. And you look great, thank you. At your place, Ruth Meir. All right. Any announcements? Come on up. Peter Norton, I think. Oh, is Peter Norton here? Peter, why don't you come on up? as well as Doug Risser. Well, they're coming up. Today, of course, is about your Rotary Club. On the 5th of July, that's the day after the 4th, if you're not a numbers person, we will not be meeting. And then on the next Monday, Eric Garten talking about our upcoming plans. And a reminder, we'll be starting to take attendance starting July 1st. So Doug?
Doug Risser with a reminder about Rotary Foundation. The end of our Rotary year is June 30, which is fast approaching. One of the goals of Rotary is every Rotarian every year, which means that no matter if it's 10 bucks or 100 or 1,000, the intent is to have every Rotarian contribute something. So if you haven't given $10 yet this year, put $10 in with a check made out to the Rotary Foundation, or long-term go on to Rotary.org, make your donations there, but please give every Rotarian every year. Second thing is just a reminder of membership. We have a lot of guests today. The number one reason people give for not joining Rotary is because they've never been invited. And so if you're a guest today and you see someone here that you know, they would be glad to invite you either to come Thursday morning at 7 a.m. to the Aquatic Center or noon here on Monday to Matterhorn. Check us out, but consider becoming part of a great organization.
Thank you, Doug. Peter, how long have you been on our board? He doesn't even know, a long time, 10 years, and you're going off? Well, I have a plaque for you. Congratulations on recognition of being on our board from 2018 to 21. So way to go.
He's the only one that remembers.
You're back. Way to go, Peter. Thank you. Any other comments, questions, criticisms, or insults? Time's up. Candy, this is a true story. I was introduced this morning to a trust client at the bank. Sweet lady. She was celebrating her 80th birthday today. And this last weekend, she just got married to a occupation that happens to be funeral director. And out of interest, she thought I might be interested to say her first husband happened to be a banker. I said, well, you can't go wrong with that. And then after further explanation or a conversation, I discovered she's been married now 4 times. So the first, and then the next one was a ring master at a circus. All right, I guess that's similar to banking, maybe some days. And then she married a minister, pastor at First Presbyterian Church. And I'm trying to kind of get a theme here. A banker, then a ringmaster at a church, at a circus, and then a minister at a church, and then finally a funeral director. I don't get it. She said, well, Sonny, it's really quite simple. Husband number 1 was for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 to go. Okay, hey, folks, you get what you pay for, all right? Gee, Merry Christmas. Speaking of which, we have been so fortunate with such great sergeants, haven't we? Yeah. And it's been a very esteemed group. And this individual, he did take the bar exam and was surprised when it didn't have to do with making cocktails. Just saying. So anyway, this counselor, Mr. Doug Thorne Esquire, you may now approach the bench. Hear it. Go get him, Doug.
Thank you, Your Honor, Shecky Burton. So, couple of things here. First of all, one thing I wasn't going to talk about, but now that he brought up the issue of bars, we were going to talk about a few things that have happened on the 4th of July and independence in general. And Bill, raise the microphone. Actually, I'll just raise my voice. Is that better, Bob? I want to make sure you can hear everything I say. All right, Bill, which president in the celebration of the 4th of July and the celebration of independence doubled the rations of rum? Wrong. It was Washington in 1778 and 1781. Now, granted, you can fault me for the fact he wasn't president at the time. That'll be $1. Granted, not grant, granted. Okay. All right. So anyway, knowing that the 4th of July is coming up this Sunday, and I thought it would be appropriate to spend some time talking about a few of the things related to independence. So that's what you're going to have to listen to for the next, 2 or 3 minutes here. Bob Schultz. When was Independence Day? This is for $5 for your table if you get the answer right. Wrong. Let me put that back. $5 for your table. If you are right, $1 for every other table at the club. All right. When was Independence Day established as a federal holiday? No. Yeah, in the past century. Yes. You're wrong. That'd be $5 for your table. That would be 1941. Prior to that, it was an unpaid holiday for federal workers. All right, Dave Lehman, same deal. $5 for your table if you get it wrong. What? You didn't contribute anything. Dave, when the sergeant addresses you, as you all know, you should stand up. Okay, Dave Tony, I know you'll be more cooperative than Dave Lehman, but that's not saying much. No, it's not. So which New England state, I'll make it a little easier than I did for Bob Schultz, was the first state to make July 4th an official holiday? Very good. That will be $1 for everybody else in the club. Your table is off. All right. Judge Rickoff. You, sir, we know are a student of history. We know that on July the 2nd is the date that the Continental Congress actually voted to declare independence from Britain. Which United States president advocated that that be the day that we would celebrate rather than July the 4th? Very good. That will be no fine for your table, $1 for everybody else in the room. All right, let's see here. Bill Templin. Go get him, Bill. You heard that from Burton. All right, on July 4th, 1776, delegates from the colonies actually adopted the Declaration of Independence. The vote was 12 in favor, 1 abstention. Which one of the colonies abstained? you get it wrong, $5 for your table. If you get it right, $1 for everybody in the room. Wrong, $5 for your table. That would be New York. New York was not authorized to vote for independence at that point in time. They had to abstain. It was not until the New York Continental Assembly allowed them to do that that it became unanimous. Bob Gerard, how delighted I am to see you in the room. There is some dispute over the actual date when the Declaration of Independence was signed by all the members of Continental Congress. In which month most historians now say that the Declaration of Independence was actually signed by everybody? Bob, we do have a program after this, so if you can move it along. August. That'll be $5 for your table. Bill's getting nervous. Don't worry, Bill. We're getting close to the end here. All right. Mr. Amt. All right. Which city holds the distinction of holding the oldest continuous celebration of an Independence Day? Yes, I did. Which state holds has for the longest period of time celebrated independence and had a festival on that day? Again, it's a New England state. Close, but no cigar would be Rhode Island. All right. Just to move things along, because I see Bill's getting nervous. Who should be my last? I've heard that. Mel Jacobson. To finish this off, when did we first start using fireworks to celebrate, and in what city would that have taken place? Happened to be at one point in time the nation's capital. No, that would be wrong. Philadelphia, July 4th, 1777. Bill says you're wrong. That'll be $1 for everybody. Thank you.
Well done, Doug. There is a story about Doug was driving down the toll road and his wife called him to say, honey, be careful. I just heard a police report. There's some idiot driving down the toll road the wrong direction. And Doug said, honey, it's not just me. There are hundreds of them. Our donations committee. I listened to a couple of their meetings. I was so impressed. They include Carlos Estevez, Don Fisher, Jeff Church, Kathy Bruzy, Dave Lehman, Jim Rickoff, Doug Risser, Brian Smith, Sherm Hansen. One of the members said at one of the first meetings, we've got this cash on our balance sheet. What's that for? And the answer was, it's a rainy day. And the answer was, well, if today's not a rainy day, I don't know what is. And so they've worked very, very hard. And so Candy, thank you for your leadership work very much. Come on up. And then here's the logistics of this. Candy and Eric, are you reading as well? Candy and Eric will read the name and a member of that group and the cause, the position, what is going to, the project is. I will be over here with checks. So it's almost like graduation, you know. But then once you get up here, stay, and then we're going to get a group picture then. Is that it, Candy? All right.
That's right. So if we could have one representative from each of the organizations here to receive a check today, please gather over there by Eric. Now, please, thank you. We're going to do a graduation ceremony of checks. We're giving out today over $25,000. That's more. While you gather and line up, if you could gather in alphabetical order by organization, we're going to call you. This $25,000 was more than double what we normally give away and more than double what we budgeted. So when we came to you as members saying, we have a challenge this year, what do you think about raising the bar? You said yes, actively. So thank you for your generosity. And thank you to you as organizations standing there, almost filling that wall. Thank you for what you're doing to make our community better. Through the organizations and the projects that have been funded. ADEC, Why Not Summer Camp. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Elkhart County for End the Wait, a Big for a Day event. Boys and Girls Clubs of Elkhart County, the Brian and Janelle Brady Center for program supplies and educational materials. Cancer Resources of Elkhart County for their Journey Through Treatment financial support. CAPS, Child and Parent Services, for their Darkness to Light virtual training. City of Elkhart Parks and Recreation, summer camp programming for students in the elementary schools. Council on Aging of Elkhart County for transportation for seniors. Crossroads United Way for their Page Puppy Kindergarten Readiness Initiative. E3 Robotics Center for more computers, tablets, and technology. 8th Street Preschool for their Minds in Motion program. Elkhart Education Foundation, scholarships for their K-7 Summerscape Day Camp. Elkhart High School Music Department to support their marching bands for their new combined high school. Marching band uniforms. 5 Star Life for the in-school video curriculum they've developed. Habitat for Humanity of Elkhart County for an AED piece of equipment for use at their build site. Hoosiers Feeding the Hungry for their Meet the Need program. Humane Society of Elkhart County, training for their animal foster program. La Casa, virtual financial empowerment classes for adults. Lifeline Youth Ministries for summer camp supplies. Loveway, therapeutic riding scholarship. Northern Hispanic Latino Health Coalition for their Healthy Hearts program. Ruthmere, Flags for Ruthmere Patriotic Series. And Ryan's Place for their website. And E3 Robotics, you must have missed me, for more computers and technology. Who's shooting? Oh, I'm sorry. Wellfield, they did the best, but no. Wellfield Botanic Gardens, yes. My apologies, that's my fault. Thank you to all of you nonprofits for the work you do.
One more. Perfect. Fantastic. How about another round of applause?
Again, great job, Candy and the donations team. As we've seen, or we read it every week, the theme of the Rotary International Year is Rotary Opens Opportunities. And for the 21-22 year, the theme is Serve to Change Lives. So those two themes right there connect so well with what your club just did. So thank you very much. Well, what a year it's been. I guess a common word we hear is pivot, which we sure have done. So we started the calendar year of 20 meeting virtually only. And then starting July 1st, the first day of my term, we started meeting here as well as virtually. And then the cases escalated. So we bagged this and went back to virtually only for the rest of the year. Then starting in January, things started to relax. So we started meeting again here and continuing to be virtual. These hybrid meetings, and I don't know if we're going to be showing pictures at all. We don't have to. We're there?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
It is that easy.
So how do I click?
Stand by. We'll get you. We'll get you.
We're running ahead. When we relocated from Wellfield back to here, I took the bell with me. Not that I didn't trust Eric to have it, but there it is on my kitchen counter. And my wife, without anyone's permission, got barkeeper's friend out and polished it up. And there it is on her kitchen counter, all nice and shiny. So thank you, Debbie, for that. So these hybrid meetings became kind of a norm for us. And based on what I heard at the district meeting, they need to continue to be a norm. It might look very effortless, but sometimes at 11:59 and 50 seconds to go, Eric is right here with Andy figuring it out. And of course, it helps a lot. But he got it done along with Andy and Aaron as well. An example of hand sanitizer, our empty Matterhorn room, me with a mask, finally on screen, And then we start meeting in a limited fashion. And then there's Eric on the computer as we're doing the meeting. Andy, bless his heart. But a thing that we were able to do with the hybrid meetings, we could have speakers far away, whether it's in Chicago or the Costa Rica library that we helped fund and worked with. We had a number of good programs. Our chief of police, Ms. Shaw, Hotel Elkhart, our mayor giving the key to the city to Alan Strike. It's been great how folks have been so willing to be with us both in person as well as virtually. There's Eric talking about origami, right? We did have a couple of offsite meetings twice at Wellfield. And then also we Gasca Tape. One of the big items for our club this year was the merging of the noon division, the noon club and the morning club into one club. So we have a noon division and a morning division. And there's Mike Crable, who is the division chairman of the morning division. And I would ask the morning division to come on up and chat with us a little bit. So please welcome Bob Gerard. Sorry.
Yeah, we were struggling as a club for the past couple of years, and we were looking for ways to really continue to do the service that we really enjoy doing in what's now the morning division. And so there were some discussions with members of the Elkhart Rotary Club and the Morning Club, and came to a decision to merge the two. And it's been a godsend really for the morning division. We have really benefited, and I hope the Elkhart Rotary Club has benefited as well. But one of the things that we're trying to do in the morning division is really expand our service opportunities. Obviously, this past year, when we merged and became part of the Elkhart Rotary Club, it's been a real challenge to do service. But we did our first service project at Boot Lake in May, and we had a number of the noon division join us at Boot Lake and do a couple of different projects in invasive species eradication and replacement of the railing at the overlook at Boot Lake, which the squirrels had eaten for the second time. This is the second time that we've done that project. But we're looking forward to expanding those opportunities to provide service, getting more of the noon division involved in some of those activities. But we're really hopeful that we're going to be able to do that. We continue to meet at 7 a.m. Yes, there is a 7 a.m. for those of us retired. On Thursday mornings at Beacon at the Aquatic Center. We meet the first, second, and third Thursdays of the month. The fourth Thursday of the month, we had been doing social activities, which obviously we couldn't do during the pandemic, but we'll be beginning those again here in the next couple of months. The other thing that we had been doing before the pandemic, we were doing service projects actually in our first meeting every month, and we're planning on continuing that. So you service organizations that are interested in some help doing things that would be able to be completed within the hour of one of our meetings. We would invite you to let us know, and we will work on those beginning of each month on every Thursday. So I'm so thankful that we've been able to merge and look forward to a great future. Very.
Thank you, Bob. It certainly is a situation where 1 + 1 is more than 2. They've been so valuable. There's a picture up here of Mike. He's not just been a token member on our board, but has been a real leader for us. And his deep knowledge of our district and the foundation, it's really been a tremendous value. And Connie Saltzgaber was almost a co-leader with you, Candy, on the donations committee. And it is, again, a great opportunity for us all. There's a group at the Boot Lake. And the Boot Lake's been interesting. We've been out a couple of times, and it's great that they've taken that under their wing, so to speak. Salvation Army, another big deal. Paul Warning, I'm not sure if Paul's here today or not, but he really stepped up and said, I'll do it. And he did. And so we had about 12 stations, 3 shifts per station, a couple of people per shift. That multiplies out to 72 people. We didn't have that many. We had some kids joined us too. There's the warnings with a little one, for example. And it was neat to see. We had a lot of wet money. It was a great way to engage children. And we gave to Salvation Army, thanks to you and the fundraising and December fines, $13,476. So nice job. You can't talk about the holidays without Dave Lehman and his silent turkey solicitation with the cards. And so I think that Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but we had about 1,441 member donations, 500 club donations. And so it was a really nice experience with a lot of help given. We started, Peter, did we restart Thursday Thursdays? No. We're getting some good things, old things going again, and that's tremendous. I can't talk about a year. It's a celebratory year, but we sure did lose a couple of members. And our DCO was deeply invested in our club, in Salvation Army, in our community, and the world. And I certainly don't have the time or talent to give words adequately to match who he was. Also, Doc Atkins, a member of our club for 46 years, passed away during this fiscal year. What a tremendous individual. Our membership today is 151 members, which includes 3 corporate members and 127 in the noon division and 10 in the morning division. County Road 6 cleanup. We had a lot of people show up twice a year. Is Tom MacArthur here? I haven't seen him. He's online. Tom, nice job. Well done. We had a number of people, and it was great to see our Interact kids there too. Speaking of, and there's Tom right there. And there's Tony Warning and me. I got a deer skull, and Tony found some cash. So I'm holding the deer skull, and Tony's holding the cash, which reminds me of something. See the deer? Does it have any dough? Yeah, $2. You know, you gotta get these in while I can. And again, we talked about the donations committee. I can't say enough about the board of directors we have had. And so I'm going to ask for some folks to stand up, just have a few minutes to go here. Eric, our president-elect, I feel like you've been co-president. Stand up, Eric, please. You really have been a positive can-do spirit. When we had the meeting at Jack Smith's museum on 2 or 3 occasions at the board, I said, you know, I don't know the logistics, the parking, the weather. And Eric was always like, we'll do this fine. We'll get it figured out. So thank you, Eric. Keep standing. Todd Stone, you were one also. If I don't know if Todd's here or not, but he was always whatever gets the job done, including supplying golf carts for that very event, making sure we had good programs. Howard Edwards is not here. Secretary always kept us on track. Jim Story, stand up, please. Amazing job knowing the details of the financials, going to the mailbox regularly to get everything. Mike Crable, Bob Gerard, please stand up. Not a token attendee at all, but a significant leader. Andy McCaskey, you made the virtual meetings happen. Wonderful job constantly. Andy, so thank you. Bob, you're not done yet. Stay standing. Candy Yoder, you put the infrastructure in place for me. So thank you for that foundation, no pun intended. Huge leadership in the donations and your wisdom in all our board meetings. Aaron Wagler can't make it. Paul Warning, I don't think is here, but tremendous with their leadership. Tom McCarthy is not here. Don Fisher, I've not seen either. Sherm Hansen, you're here. Great job, always engaged in the meetings. Mandy Lazenby is not here. Marie Drake, certainly she's not on the board, but is certainly part of the machinery that keeps our club running. Heidi Bennett, where are you, Heidi? You around anywhere? Heidi. Well, she and Kurt Janowski have been tremendous partners. Terry Rickle, the great liaison with our district. Stand up, Terry, please do. Meetings don't happen just by accident. Greeters, Andrew Harmon, you're here. I know you're a greeter. In fact, stand up. Anybody who was also a greeter this year, would you also please stand up? Anybody that was a greeter at our front desk, please. Invocation, Fran, I don't know, I don't think I've seen you, but anyone who's done an invocation this year, would you also please stand up? Sergeant at Arms, Anthony Hunt has been the sergeant, and I don't know that Anthony's here either, but anyone who's been a sergeant this year, would you please stand up? The virtual meetings, of course, Andy and Aaron and Eric, the meals, Doug Risser with the foundation work, Scott Puckett with also the foundation work and the J.R. Kissinger Award, Todd Stone, I mentioned, Jim Rickoff, our please stand, and anyone who's on the membership committee, would you also please stand? Jim, there you are. Membership committee and anyone who's been on the membership committee, been tremendous. And Jim also did a lot of work in the bylaw work for our merger with the morning club. Anyone who's a part of the morning division, would you, if you're here, would you please also stand up? Any virtual attendees we have. Now, tell you what, don't stand up. It'd be a little awkward. Never mind. So, and then Shan Wyatt, our historian, tremendous work there. Scott Puckett, I mentioned, and the sergeants, and anyone who puts $1 into the basket. Anyone who's, Terry, you're sitting down. Why is that? Anyone who's ever put $1 into the basket for Sergeant at Arms, would you please stand up? And anybody who's paying their dues every quarter, would you please also stand up? Ladies and gentlemen, I start this meeting every Monday saying, this is Rotary. Folks, this is Rotary. I thank you. So Eric, come on over. You can sit, I'll sit down except for Eric. We're going to be socially not so distant. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You are, my friend. You are the incoming president of this club, and that is no joke. And so, thank you so much. And so, would you pick up that gavel? and I'll hold the bell. And you can say Rotary's adjourned, but wait, there's more. Mhm. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. It, it's It's been a pleasure. It has been a real pleasure, and thank you all. I've learned a lot as well. And I don't have anything else. Dave, where are you standing? Well, it could get really bad. Debbie's looking at me like, Bill. Yeah, I know. Now what are I gonna do? Can me? Right? Right. Okay. Yeah, okay. This guy walks into a psychiatrist's office and he's going, I'm a wigwam. I'm a teepee. I'm a wigwam. I'm a teepee. I'm a wigwam. I'm a teepee. The psychiatrist said, hey, guy, you're too tense. All right. With that said, Rotary's adjourned.
With that, Rotary is adjourned.